Okay, guys. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to check out the different types of the fire steels that I typically take with me, or ferro rods, as they're more well known, that I typically take with me into the field. Starting from my left, from going from left to right. So the first one we're going to have a look at is my newest fire steel that I've been using for quite a while. It's been working very, very well. This is the all-weather fire starter, and I've had this fire starter now for about a couple of months, and it's been a very awesome tool. It showers sparks very, very well. So you have the ferro rod on the top. You've also got a magnesium bar here, which allows you to go ahead and shave off some of the shavings. So I'm just going to shave off just a little bit here, just to kind of show you the workings of it. And this is very, very hot when it's lit. There you go. And this will pretty much light anything that's on fire that is out there. And also too, the handle is made out of a combustible material, so I can scrape some of this off and also use this as tinder as well. It's also got a built-in compass on the top of it, which does glow in the dark at night. So right now I'm facing it toward the east. North is that way, south is this way, and west is back towards me. And it's also got a built-in thermometer on the top of the compass. Right now it's about 70 degrees, so it's pretty good weather out here for right now. So pretty good time to be out here, especially. Usually a couple of times when I've been out here messing around with bushcraft and testing my skills, it's usually a lot warmer. So it's actually a nice day today. So that's the all-weather fire steel. It does come with its own striker, but again, you can use a knife or the striker that comes with it. The next item that I do have, of course, obviously, is my knife. This is the Schreit SCH F26, and I actually have a Hooligans fire steel that I've added to this kit. Inside the belt pouch as well, there is also a thing of wet fire tinder, which I've used a lot, and wet fire, it does work very well. Although I've heard lately that it's not becoming as popular as when it first started, but still, it's still a great product to have in your kit. And the Hooligans is also another good fire steel as well to get a fire going. So it does shower some sparks very well. So the Hooligans fire steel works good. So I'm going to leave that out just for a minute because I'm going to show you guys something else as well. Go ahead and put the knife back in. Another item I also do have as well is this guy right here. This is the Strike Force fire starter from UST, from Ultimate Survival Technologies. This was my original fire starter when I originally started. Actually, my first original fire starter that I had was the Bear Grylls fire starter, but of course the fire steel actually broke on me, so I decided to get a new fire starter. So this was one of them that I had. It's got a container compartment, which on the container itself has got another cube of wet fire. And then the ferro rod itself is very, very big. It's got a nice built-in fire steel, which works very well. Shoots off sparks very good. Another good fire steel. Another fire steel that I also do have available as well is actually on the Bear Grylls Ultimate Pro knife. This is actually a good knife, and the fire steel does work very well. It's a little bit of a hassle to get out of the knife, but once you get it out, it does work. It's got a nice little lightning strike area to where you can strike the fire steel. So it does work very well. Set that off to the side. Then the one last fire steel I have is this guy. This is the blast match. The blast match is typical for one-handed operations, but you can use two hands with it. Now the reason why I have a blast match available in my kit is because if I have a bad situation where, like one of my like I messed up my arm, or my hand is broken, I need to get a fire starter right away. This is a great fire starting tool. So what you do, you push up, lift up, strike bar pops up, and then the ferro rod. This is a very good size ferro rod. It rotates back and forth as you strike. And then the striker is actually built in there. I don't know if you can see that, but you basically hold it down. Let's make a little bit more room here. Strike down. Gives out very, very good sparks. And they're very hot too. And when you're done with it, pull out the lid, push it back, lift it up again, lock it back in place, and voila, it's done. Again, the blast match is a very good fire starter for one-hand operation. This is also a good fire starting tool, especially if you have kids and they want to learn how to start fires, or either this type of fire starter or the blast match or even the all-weather fire starter are great tools for kids to learn how to use, especially if you're getting them into bushcraft, or if you're getting them into survival, or if you just like enjoy going out camping in general. Now the reason why I left the Cooligans ferro rod out is because I wanted to talk about another thing too when it comes to starting fires. Now typically most people will not carry a full tang knife like my Charade or my Bear Grylls knife, but a lot of people like to carry like a flip blade or a small little neck knife, which I do have around my neck here. This is the United States Marine Corps Bulldog knife. It's a very nice knife. This is a full tang knife all the way around. It's got a nice blade that's done me very, very well. And it's also got a striker on the end as well as a dangler, and with a 90-degree spine, so it will strike the fire rod very, very well. But the reason why, and then plus two, it's also got a very nice Kydex sheath that came with the knife. But the reason why I'm talking about that is because if you're out in the woods and you are looking for a way to start a fire, especially if you don't have a striker or a nice full tang knife with you, you can use a couple of other knives. You can use a neck knife, which just makes sure it does have a full tang blade, and you can also use a folding sheath knife. Now this is the Bear Grylls folding sheath knife, and the reason why I have brought this one with me, I've actually got two of them. I got the big one and it's smaller, and I've also got the Scout, and I've also got the Micro Scout that I keep in my tinder bag, which I'll talk about later on. Now the reason why I have these three knives is because the Scout actually stays in my day pack, in my day ruck, and then the other one still goes into my tinder bag, and these are actually good ways to actually be able to start a fire. The key thing that you want to remember when you want to get a fire going is that if you're going to carry a folding knife, you got to make sure it does lock, because otherwise if you carry just a simple knife like a pocket knife or like a simple pocket knife, then what's going to happen is that the pocket knife, when you try to strike that fire steel, it's going to come back and actually get your fingers. You don't want that whatsoever. So you can see, you can hear that sound. So now what I can now do is, if I need to get fire going, pop it open, strikes out pretty good. So that's definitely a good thing. It does create a strike really well. It's also got some serrations as well as a straight edge blade. Or if I want, I can also use my Bulldog. And again, they've also set us some very good strikes when it comes to striking a fire steel. So that's my take on the ferro rods that I carry with me when I go out into the field, when I'm camping, bushcrafting, or practicing some survival skills. If you guys got any questions about any of the ferro rods that I use, please feel free to leave me a comment or send me a private message. Please rate, subscribe for more upcoming videos on my channel. I'll also post a link to where I got many of these products on the description page and YouTube. Appreciate you guys joining me for another video today. Keep on bushcrafting. Be safe, be well, strength and honor. Thank you for joining me. Bye.